What is ego death? Ego death is when the identity you once had, the self you've been carrying, begins to dissolve. It's the breaking down of the false version of you that was created from trauma, pain, fear, survival mechanisms, opinions of others, conditioning from family or environment. The ego is the self-image, not your true self. Ego death is when God, life, or spiritual awakening confronts that false identity and strips it away so the true soul can emerge. Physical aspect of ego death. This part feels like everything in your life is falling apart. You may experience loss of interest in people you once cared about, feeling disconnected from society or old habits, sudden emotional breakdowns, or crying without reason, fatigue, weakness, or heaviness in the body, change in sleep patterns, extreme irritability or numbness, loss of desire to chase worldly validation. You may look in the mirror and feel like you don't recognize yourself anymore. Food tastes different, music hits differently, old environments feel draining, conversations that once excited you now feel empty. Your body is literally adjusting because your spirit is shifting. It feels like a death, but it is really a removal of who you are not. Spiritual aspect of ego death. Spiritually, ego death is when God begins to call you into your true identity. Your soul starts remembering who you were before the world shaped you. The spirit begins separating you from illusions, attachments, and pride. It is the death of the self that was built from the earth, so the self that was formed in heaven can rise. This is why ego death is so painful. You are not losing your life. You are losing your lies. And the ego fights because it thinks survival equals identity. But spiritually, ego death feels like surrender, humility, silence, letting go, deep inner restructuring, rebirth of purpose, reconnection to God as Father, not just deity. It is the moment when you stop trying to control life and allow yourself to be led. Why ego death happens? Because who you were cannot enter where you are going. To walk in destiny, purpose, spiritual authority, divine clarity, the old self must fall away. God cannot fill a vessel that is still full of self, so he empties you to make room for what he originally placed in you. The result of ego death. When the process is complete, you will notice your awareness increases, your discernment sharpens, you no longer chase validation, your spirit becomes quiet and centered, you see through illusions and manipulation easily. You recognize your divine identity more clearly. You come out of ego death lighter, clearer, stronger, and aligned. It is painful, but it is the birth canal of purpose. Like, follow, share, and save just in case you've to rewatch.
When I walk through, I got sauce too. Came with that gang, chopper rain, get her up, shine. When I walk,
stepping in purpose with my Lord and Savior. Walking in love, I ain't worried about haters. Putting my mind on him and keep me at peace, and that's in the book of Isaiah. I keep it brief when I go into prayer. Made by the best, I'm sprinkled with flavor. Saluting God like his first name was Major. Punching on demons like my name is Frazier. Little bitty devil, he came with a wage. I bought it right up like it was some paper. The Bible I keep, it come with a laser. Right on my hip like it was a stepping in purpose with my Lord and Savior. Walking in love, I ain't worried about haters. Putting my mind on him and keep me at peace, and that's in the book of Isaiah. I keep it brief when I go into prayer. Made by the best, I'm sprinkled with flavor. Saluting God like his first name was Major. Punching on demons like my name is Frazier. Little bitty.
She wasn't just a goddess. She was the law of the universe. Without her, even the gods would fall into chaos. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to tell you about Maat will change how you see Egyptian mythology forever. The goddess of truth, justice, harmony, and cosmic order. She's not a warrior with a sword, but her power was feared more than any weapon. Born at the dawn of creation, Maat was the force that kept the sun rising, the Nile flowing, and the stars aligned. Her feather of truth decided the fate of every soul in the afterlife. Way lighter than her feather, and you enter paradise. Way heavier, and your soul is devoured for eternity. Most people don't know this. Maat wasn't just an idea. She was a principle the pharaohs had to live by. Even the mightiest ruler could lose the throne if they broke her laws. And in the temples of ancient Egypt, her image was placed in courtrooms as a constant reminder. Truth above all. Unlike many gods, she never had a violent downfall, because Maat is balance itself. But in times of corruption and chaos, her influence would fade, and the world would descend into darkness until balance was restored. So tell me in the comments, if your soul was weighed today, would it pass Maat's test? Follow for more hidden truths of the God.
Islam, peace and love,
Islam, peace,
and namaste. All right, you all. I am Jennifer Lynn, Steele, the CEO and founder of Maat Divine Podcast. And today we have a very, very wonderful sister, you all. When she brings it, she brings it. She teaches me every time. So I thank you. And we have tonight Goddess Egbekemi Oshunlewa L. Islam, peace and love.
Islam, peace and love. Thank you, sister, for having me on tonight. I am truly honored to be graced with you all's presence. Ashe.
Yes, Ashe. Now, before we get started, do you mind, are you okay with me doing libations and giving divinations?
Oh, by all means. By
Okay.
all means, let's do it. Let's get this work in.
Okay. All right, you all. So those of you that do watch the Maat podcast, sometimes I say a whole bunch of names at one time and then I do the divinations. But tonight is different because we have two spiritual beings coming into the house with you all tonight. So tonight I'm going to individually give the peoples their flowers one by one with the ashe afterwards. So I have my water. Like the Empress was teaching me, set your intentions with your water.
Ashe.
All right. So first we're going to give, and after I say their name, Empress, we could just say Ashe, okay? First, I take this water, and we're going to give honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Ashe.
To Marcus Garvey. Ashe. To Mayat.
Ashe.
To Oshun.
Ashe.
To Oya.
Ashe.
Now we're going to give it to the divine ancestors. Ashe. We're going to give it to the Orishas. Ashe. We're going to give it to Elijah Muhammad. Ashe. And we're going to give it to Allah. Ashe. Now I'm going to put the recipes together at once. Now, the next, we're going to give divinations. We're going to pay homage and we're going to give gratitude to our archangels, to our spirit guides, to our guardian angels, to Mother Nature, to the universe, to the cosmos, to the known and to the unknown, to the ancestors that were here before us, to the ancestors that are coming after us, and anyone that we have forgot. We pay homage and so much love, peace, love, and namaste to you all. Ashe.
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 And Ashe-o.
Ashe-o.
All right. So before we get started, I just want to do one more thing, you all. First, thank you all for coming on tonight. We have something really nice for you all. I want to just do one announcement tonight, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Now, those of you that is part of the Moorish community, we have a wonderful event coming up with the brothers from Noble Temple number 4, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Moorish Historical Lecture by G.S. Tahaka Aboki Bay. They're going to be free food, live entertainment, music, and they are celebrating the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's birthday celebration. It's going to be held on January the 8th, 2026. It's going to be from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. The location is 23810 West 7 Mile. Again, 23810 West 7 Mile. And you all can always come back to this YouTube if you forget. Islam.
Islam. Ashe.
Shay. Now, further ado, Oshunlewa. Peace and love
Yeah.
to you, goddess. I thank you. Now, I want you to give us some information on a quick bio on who you are, what you got coming up, how the people can get to you. Just tell us all the amazing stuff you got going on. And I'm going to try my best to keep up with you, okay?
Ashe. Once again. Once again, I thank you for the formality of inviting us to come and be in your sacred space, goddess. It's truly an honor whenever me and you get together. We like two high school students all over again. So I love your energy and I love throughout the years your sisterhood ship. And I appreciate you. Just want to put that out there. To anyone that has this sister in your dwells, you have a treasure. Treasure this woman because she has it going on. Okay, she give me props, but she don't know I look up to her. Ashe. So we
Thank you.
we reverence each other. But just to give you some uplift, I am the high priestess of Kingdom Keys Universal Nation, which is a virtual nation. This is something that I know most people like. What? Like, yes, we are a virtual nation. Nation. We live by the laws, the land, the air, and the water. Okay, so within the land, the air, and the water, we govern ourselves on a private status and our walking and our dealings. But most of all, we are a group of entrepreneurs who have come to the understanding that there's a need for us to learn how to utilize our bartering system while we educate each other and while we build our own businesses. We network and help and support each other across the globe. So we have members within Kingdom Keys University that are in third world countries, as well as living and residing here within our actual states. Each temple has been designed to target the issues and the traumas within the family. So we deal with a lot of metaphysics and spiritual psychology. We are not a religious organization, for we have found out in our research and our studies that most religious programs are or have been tainted. When we say tainted, it brings us back to our topic of today, the principles of MAAT, the governing of what having good integrity and good character, dealing with Mama Oshun. So our schools are designed up under three main principles, which is the Hermetic principles, the universal laws, and once again, the balance of MAAT. All three of our temples right now, which is Olokun's temple, which is dealing with our men, because once again, our men have to heal so they can resurrect our women back to their throne. A lot of people say, oh, it's not necessarily the woman is everything. Yes, she is, but she has been distorted within her nature. And that's where my book comes in, where I just wrote a book. It's out on Amazon called The Return of the Ancestral Throne. This is to put the family back in its right perspective and understanding that the family is nothing but a household full of slaves to each other. If you, Buddha said it best. He said, if you really want to know how strong you are, go and spend some time with your family. You're going to find out how strong you really are. Because a lot of our families were torn in vibration. You hear what I'm saying? Vibration within our DNA, which brought about a lot of different karma and struggles and trauma that has been echoing from one generation to the next. So this particular book is taking you through a quantum physics and spiritual understanding, psychological understanding of the traumas of why things happened to you and didn't happen to everyone else. Why all of a sudden she was better than her, and why was he pushed out for this? And it brings a lot of understanding as to why the family is distorted, which brings us back to our topic today, MAAT, okay? And the governance of MAAT and the principles of us learning how to live a balanced life, okay? It's to first understand how to decode ourselves from spells we speak into existence on ourselves on a daily basis. So that also brings us to Oshun's temple. Oshun's temple has been designed for the healing of the woman's sacred womb. We're going to tap into the sacred waters of fertility, wealth, and abundance, teaching us ourselves how to become very independent, but always operate in our feminine energy of knowing. Because when you are stepping into a balanced place, you just know. You don't have to force yourself through. You just, once again, go with the flow. Ashe. So Oshun's gold temple is just that. It's to teach us women how to usher back in our feminine energy and how to be the actual healers we already are. How do you embody it? How do you live it? How do you implement it as your daily ritual? So Yes, once again, Oshun's Temple is here to help those women who are seeking healing within the traumas of your womb. And then here go everybody's favorite. Then after this, I can stop, right? Here go our favorite. Our favorite is Vision for Youth. This is everybody's baby right here, which we have Goddess Sunny. When I say this phenomenal high priestess that's over the Vision for Youth is going to do some dynamic things this year. One of the things that we already have in place is our classrooms, which we are teaching our youth about chakra work. We're already teaching our youth about healing and understanding that just because that's mama vision don't have to be your vision. How to embrace whatever your unique treasures that's within your heart, bring it into existence by becoming an entrepreneur. Let your vision make room for you, as they say, and bring you before greatness. So we are looking for this summer to have 100 youth. That's the goal. So y'all help me get these 100 youth. We want to teach 100 youth how to tap into their power, their elements, the number 4 representing the elements of the earth, and bringing the whole round to you being the ether, the spiritual being into existence, because we are definitely going to a time where you have to be able to survive for yourself and for your family, and knowing what that means and what it takes to be able to be sovereign and independent is something that we need to start implementing to our youth at a very young age. So definitely we're excited for Vision for Youth to come and be a part of our communities across the nation. We also have some goals to send them out of state and let them actually experience walking on third world soil. I'm telling you, the shift of the energy is totally different, and everyone should have the opportunity to experience the world and the different shifts of energy they possess. Ashe. So those are just some things that we're working on right now. We also have, in which I didn't give you this one, guys, we have Sacred Keys University that will be opening up in March and New Year's. We're going to actually open up Sacred Keys for You. This is where master teachers across the world have come together to build a platform on a universal level or a university level, and teaching you your basic Kemetic science. We got everything from historical facts to ancient Kemetic science to Moorish American science to the occult. The list goes on and on and on. We're not limiting anyone from finding the balance of justice and truth. Ashe.
Hey, Ashe. Oh.
Ashe. Oh, I think I covered everything. Ashe.
Yeah. Yes, that is what I have down here at the bottom of my screen. But further ado, I know it's at the bottom of the screen, you all. So you ought to want to be in contact with her. Her information is at the bottom. Kingdom Keys Universal Nation. Matter of fact, I'll let you go ahead and say this, Empress. Give your email and your phone number and your Facebook name, please.
Okay, so my Facebook name is Golden Rule. You know that old famous saying, do treat people the way you want to be treated. So go on Facebook. You can find me at Golden Rule. That's where I post most of my publishings and announcements, because I'm still learning the other systems. Bear with me. But you also can reach me at Sacred Keys for You. Gmail.com. That's Sacred Keys with a Z, the number 4, the letter U at Gmail. You also can DM me anytime. Everybody else do on Facebook. If you really want to catch me, I'm telling you, Facebook is the way to communicate to me right now. I do answer and respond to everyone within at least 24 hours. All I ask is that, show me respect. I show you respect. Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe. Okay, so this is your floor tonight. I am. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That's what they say. So I'm ready. What I want you to do is go into, because see, this is such a phenomenal moment tonight, you all. For you that don't know, a lot of myths out here is always like, how can Maat and Oshun be together at once? You got the Egyptian goddess and you have the Orishas, when they go hand in hand, and we are one. I am you, you are me. I'm a reflection of you, you are a reflection of me. So I just want you to freestyle however you want, but it's so important. I'm so excited. Y'all don't know that y'all got MAAT Temple and Oshun's Temple in the house. Sacred Keys Kingdom, okay?
We got those sacred keys over here at the kingdom. You hear me? We study to show ourselves approved. Our shade. That's what we do. That's what we about. I'm sorry, Goddess. Was you done? I'm on fire over here. I've just been waiting for.
No, I was done. Get you activated.
I've been waiting for the go. Okay. So once again, let's get on into it. Let's get into our healing. First of all, I have to give you what the ancestors gave me today in my meditation. Before the end of this show, someone will have a breakthrough, okay? Within your breakthrough, you will know your breakthrough because you will have nothing but a consistent flow of tears. You're just going to be crying and you're going to be like, why am I crying? Because once again, the coding that's going to come through this particular segment, the spirit is going to unlock something that you've been waiting and trying to figure out how to release. The spirit is going to do that for you today. The spirit also told me that there's going to be somebody who's going to feel tingling in their hands and their feet by the end, somewhere in between or the end of this particular segment. What's happening within you is that MAAT has chosen you to move further in a mission. Pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities around you. And 3, the spirit says that somebody is going to have a vision, okay? And that MAAT is going to come and actually give MAAT is going to come and give you a vision in your dreams tonight. So once again, I encourage you, get your journals and your pens. You might be the one that she's talking to tonight, Ashe. So now that I've done what the spirit asked me to do, let me go into my lesson plan. I'm a little silly, y'all, because that's tapping into my childlike energy. So we're going to get a drum roll. All right. So we're dealing with, once again, the combination of what we have failed to realize is the ushering in of Aquarius, ushering in the love, the divine law, and the divine living. Okay. A long time ago, I grew up in the church, so I was the pastor's daughter, and I've heard a lot of different sermons throughout my life, but the one that stuck out to me the most was from an old preacher or elder preacher who once said, when you come into my house, check your knowledge in at the door. So what you think you know, I'm here to tell you, you don't know yet, because if you have been operating outside of MAAT, then it's time for you to make some transitions within your life. And I'm going to show you how you may or may not be operating within the alignment of MAAT, okay? But my sister started us off with the understanding of MAAT and Oshun, the combination of these two spiritual beings. First of all, let's start off with, MAAT just wants me to stay on her for a minute, so I'm going to stay on MAAT for a minute, okay? So MAAT, first of all, wants to make sure that people understand that she is not so much as a goddess as she is a free spiritual being. She is the existence, okay? Anubis holds the scale. A lot of people get it misconstrued thinking that MAAT represents the scale. No, she represents the feather. She represents the heart. She represents the compassion. She represents the purity of who you say you are. She represents the feminine embodiment of having a light heart, okay? She represents that accountability for who you say you are. Can you really live up to it? Do you just say it and just think it's just nonchalant, or are you actually living up to it? Because our days of trying to fake the funk is over. I'm just letting you know, okay? I pity the fool who don't receive sound wisdom when it comes and knock at your door, okay? Because as we continuously go on, I want you to take this time and really think about this. If truth was to knock at your door, would you receive it, deny it, or would you sit up and try to debate with it? When you just think about debating with truth, that just sounds nonsense altogether, because if you know it's the truth, why is you debating against it? Come on, somebody. These are things that we don't take. We take it so for granted because, oh, it's just a small little white lie. Oh, it don't really matter. Oh, that's just a little. No, baby, those things start to fester and build more energy. And before you know it, you're sitting up in these so-called depression moments. These moments that where your heart feels so heavy, you can't make it through, right? So MAAT is wanted to clear that up and let you know, no, baby, she here to bring forth the truth of alignment, the balance of equilibrium, the justice of consequences, and the order of harmony, okay? And then when you start talking about Oshun, you're talking about You talking about everything that you are. You talking about 81% of the water. How dare you disrespect the goddesses that run through your veins, that keep you alive, that let you know that, hey, it's time for you to replenish yourself. You need to go and rest. She sends you through emotional feelings. Why? Because she wants to help you feel where your heart is. You see what I'm saying? So Oshun helps you to feel where your emotional state and your capabilities are, and what needs to change and what needs to be let go and what boundaries you need to put up. Whereas Maat governs the heart and lets you know that, okay, well, you passed the test, we can level up, Ashe. So those are the combinations of how both of these deities work hand in hand, because once again, truth brings forth what? Alignment. Balance brings forth equilibrium. Equilibrium. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Hopefully y'all get what I'm saying. Okay. Justice brings about consequences. Order, once again, brings about harmony. Being accountable for spiritual maturity. And that's where a lot of us are failing as being spiritual beings. We're not taking accountability for our actions. We're just going along with the flow, and we mistreating each other in a lot of ways that might not be as violent as me walking up and knocking you out. You know what I'm saying? But it can be just as deadly as me speaking against you. We are not operating in the true capacity of our balance. We're talking about the hidden things that aren't obviously out in the open for everyone to see, but it's causing us to fall beneath the balance, which is causing us to get stuck in 3D energy. It's causing us to be stuck in low vibration, okay? When you start talking about both of these feminine powers, you're talking about reclaiming that balance. So you have to learn how to love through everything. You have to learn how to dismiss weakness and know that you are strong. You have to give up the masculine law. Come on, somebody. You got to give up the masculine law. What does that mean? Man's law. You got to step back into spiritual law. Spiritual law of knowing that you are the land, you are the air, and you are the water. That is not something to take pricelessly or to make it seem nonchalant. This is an embodiment. Okay, this is a feminine held both on love and law. Okay, love and law. What is love and law? Well, now you're starting to talk about the healing of the feminine sovereignty, which is the alchemy of the human body. Okay, Oshun governs once again the womb, the creativity, the center place, the blood and that flows, the emotional, sensual intelligence. You hear what I'm saying? The sensual intelligence. This is that part that a lot of us, or should I say, I'm not a man, so I can't say a lot of us, but you know, where most men within our society and our community have fallen off, and they blaming the woman because the woman losing her mind and cussing you out. Because how many times I got to tell you to do one thing and it's just simple, you know, and then you have the man that's just like, man, she's just going crazy for no reason. No, when you have a healed masculine, he has more intuitive connection on how to handle any situation that's chaotic. But when he's not healed, he gives into that chaoticness. We're going to talk about that as well as we go further on. I'm going to try to wrap it up. I ain't going to keep y'all here all night because baby, I love this topic. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, when you start talking about Maya, you're talking about governing the nervous system. Let's talk about it. How many of y'all are really doing y'all breath work out there? There's a lot of energy and planetary alignment that's causing us to go into lunar energy, which is our water within our body. Come on, Oshun. And she's making you feel right now. And some of that feeling seems very heavy and overwhelming. And a lot of that is because why? We haven't took the time to heal the nervous system. You've been neglecting your body. How dare you? Your moral compass, your body gives you what? Signals. How do you get the signals? All of a sudden, I just got this throbbing pain in the middle of my thigh. How I get a pain in the middle of my thigh? You know what I'm saying? The center of my back, it just seemed like all this tension is up under my rib cage. You holding on to too much anger. You got too much rage. Let that go. We haven't been taking the time to learn the thought patterns of integrity when it comes down to ourselves. Maya is saying, hold on, baby, pay attention. What you doing? You sabotaging yourself. You put more weight on you than what you need. Desires are aligned when you tap into both of these two deities. Your desires align. How do your desires align? Because one, you have learned how to utilize the blood flow of your emotional and sensual intelligence. Did you hear what I said? You learned how to use the blood flow. So now what you have is you have the desire to become aligned with your destiny, your purpose. You find more happiness. You find more emotional alignment where everything becomes truth. And when it becomes truth, you don't even got to fight it. You just stand still and know that I am.
Islam.
And when you know Islam.
I just want to tap in where you're going because you're bringing something to me when you say when you become in alignment. When she speaks about being in alignment and now you can be yourself, the word ego death comes back to the mind of the first video that you all seen. Because in order to get to where she's at and what she's doing, you have to have an ego death. You have to know how to, and just in case you all want to know, that's her more herbs. Okay, but you have to have ego death, you all. You have to be okay with not being who you used to be. A lot of us think that, oh, I've been the same person forever. I've been who I am. Then you have not ascended. You have not elevated. So as she's going to go on, she's going to get into it even more. But really pay attention to the things that she's saying. Because as she's talking, you're going to hear ego death. You have to drop your ego and your pride in order to get to where you need to be. You can't go around saying that you don't like me because I'm Baptist. You can't go around and say you don't like me because I'm Christian, I'm Church of God of Christ, I'm Methodist, I'm Hinduism, I'm Israelite, I'm a Moor, I'm a Buddhism. You cannot go there when you letting a word, which words are spells, but you letting one word divide you amongst your people and who you are and building and getting to where we need to be. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe. So let's go back a little bit because I was getting excited, jumped ahead of myself. Let me jump back up a little bit more. So let's go back to the sacredness and the sacred meanings because that's what's missing. When we're talking about our feminine energy being ushered back in, we're talking about a nurturing spirit, right? And so one thing, like my sister said, dealing with the ego is not nurturing. The ego takes away your right. And what is our right? I have. And it's replaced with what? I shall. We already know the science. I don't have to dig that deep into that, do I? I hope I don't. If I do come to Kingdom Keys, we're gonna break it down. Okay. But right now, we're just gonna stay, we're gonna stay right here and understanding that when you have free will and free choice, you have more accountability to say, I have not done that. And I can stand 10 toes down in the circle of my circumference in my square. I know the truth of who I am and what I do and how I present myself. So therefore, I have not done these things. I have not chosen to go against the will of integrity. I have not made myself questionable amongst my peers. These things, and we know the 42 laws go on and on and on because it's covering the mortality of you being both human and spiritual existence here on earth. And it's showing you how the goddess taps into a cosmic law of representing how truth and balance will bring forth harmony, order, right actions will bring forth truth and justice. So we're going to learn that a little bit more. So let's talk about the cosmology. Maya emerges from the moment of creation. When the creation was forced, Ra Autumn brings the universe out of the moral waters of noon. Ma'at is established as a divine order that prevents, you hear what it says, prevents chaos. Let's talk about it. Most of our institutions keep more hell than a little bit. This is why our people are afraid to come and be a part of our institutions. This is why they are afraid to come and learn the truth, because we the ones keeping up the chaos. How is the spiritual being keeping up the chaos? Go ahead, Goddess.
I got this really quick. Woof. Go ahead and give it to us, okay? Now, when she said what she said about Maya bringing order, you all, it was because Isfet was chaos and injustice. You know, it was a reason that Maya had to come into the primordial waters and become birthed by Ra, because everything was in an uproar and chaotic way, like what's going on right now. The world has to get put back in order and balance and truth. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to. Islam.
Oh, no. Come on in. Teach us, sis. I ain't mad at you. Ma'at, once again, is a daily life. And a lot of times we only want to put on the truth of justice when it's time to parade it in front of other people. Shame, shame, shame. Don't you know that Ma'at sees it all? She's a part of you. She's the air. She's the breath. And Yoruba, they would say that it would be Oya, who knows the air. She knows the only spirit that knows the exit date of existence. But yet we seem like we can just fool these spiritual beings and these spiritual things and don't realize it's in your DNA. You can't run from it. You can't get around it. You know what I'm saying? It's within you. Ma'at governs your family relationships, your community, your responsibilities, your business affairs, your sexual ethics, your speech and intention, your stewardship of the land and resources. Living in Ma'at means internal alignment before external power. Oh, let's talk about it. So many of us want to get to the external power and they took the time to clean up the internal. Well, what's your spiritual hygiene like? A lot of us don't even know what I'm talking about. When the last time you took the time to sit down with the elements out in nature, put your feet to the ground and let them negative ions from the grass pull that negative energy out of you? How often have you actually detoxed? Your spiritual energy stinks. And Ma'at can smell it. Spirits can smell it. This is how come we want all this external power, but we haven't aligned ourselves to receive it. We're wondering why things still ain't gravitated to us because you haven't aligned to it, okay? But however, we're going to keep on moving. What is your voice within the lineage of Ma'at? Ooh, let's talk about it. What is your voice when it comes to Ma'at? Okay, we're talking about what you remember. Have you remembered yet? Or are you still quoting somebody else's science project? What do I mean by that? Guess what? As much as I love my sister sitting over here on the other side of this here stage, I have to be accounted for myself. Taking accountability means that I have to remember that I am held responsible for my actions. Truth is not just spoken, it's lived. Balance is not forced, it's embodied. And justice is not punished, it's restoration. You hear what I'm saying? It's restoration. It means it's total freedom. It doesn't have the obligations or the hangovers. You know how people be like, well, I'll forgive you, but if you do A, Y, and Z. What you mean if I do A, Y? So you're just going to put me in a double loop of a contract? And that's what we're doing with one another. We playing with the integrity and the stewardship of what? Our oath, our creed, of what we signed a contract to enter into this realm with. And we're going against those principles. And this is how come, as I was explaining to my sister earlier, I say it's like the Wizard of Oz. Remember the story? As long as you was on the golden path, you was good. All you had to do was keep on the red shoe slippers, don't sell your soul, and stay on the yellow path. Stay on the yellow bricks. You're going to find your way home. But what we do is we get distracted by the things that are going against the principles, the governing of Ma'at. And when we go against those principles, we break the oath of what? Good character, of judgment, right? We wind up becoming manipulators of everything. I even want you to feel the anger and the frustration that I feel. What? Why would you want me to feel what you feel? Because I ain't healed yet. Obviously, because you got to be crazy if you think I'm going to take on your mess when I got my own mess. Like, let's be honest and real with it, right? But we're translating things in a way that is causing chaoticness, as they would call it in Christianity, a reprobated mind. You can't tell what's right and from wrong no more because you're so chaotically influenced. And everything that's wrong, we find treasures in it. We find a reason to want to hold on to it. We break the natural and the universal laws, the moral concepts of who we are for things that are trivial. Something as simple as, why are you lying so much? What caused you to do that much lying? You done lied so much to the point where you can't even remember how you started off the lie. You just all wrapped up and entangled up in that one, huh? And you will convince yourself, you narcissistic being, you have convinced yourself that it's true. To the point where it's now you start to harm and hinder the relationships of those around you. We have to heal. And a lot of times we don't even know we are this caught and wrapped up in these things because once again, we're not speaking truth. Your circle isn't speaking truth. How they say, birds of a feather will what? Flock together. So if you flocking amongst a bunch of liars, then darn it, guess what? Somewhere in your DNA, your soul, you enjoy the entertainment of misery of a liar. You see how that works? You're being drawn to misery. You're choosing to live in misery instead of living balance. Okay, when you breathe in air, you're breathing in the integrity of power, because once again, when you breathe in, the next thing you got to do is what? Breathe out. So you got to send a transformation somewhere within the thought process of what you're breathing in has to come back out. How pure is your heart? I tell people and I teach people, even if you cross-reference me and go into your biology, your chemistry, your anatomy, you're going to find these things in certain sequence of pattern. If the brain can visualize it, the image, right? It has to go through a transformation through the heart. The heart has to give the okay to manifest it, right? So the heart turn around and say, well, we might not want to do that. But then guess who has the final say so? I. So I turns around and say, no, we're going to do it. The heart say, okay, well, we trying to warn you. And then next thing you know, out of the mouth speaks the truth of what's in the heart. And before you know it, you have to deal with the consequences behind it. And that's what MAAT teaches us, to take accountability for whatever it is that you speak. Take accountability for it, because you're going to reap whatever the energy of it is, if I make sense. Whatever intent you put out there, the energy is going to flow with it. So if you constantly tumble some, oh, I'm broke, then guess what? Every time you turn around, money going to come in your hand. It's going to go just as quickly, because you already done manifested that you ain't got no money. Right? Because one thing about MAAT, she going to keep it truthful with you, whether you know it or not. Are y'all with me?
I always say the 7 powers of life for me is the power of silence. I say the power of wisdom, the power of breath, the power of connection, the power of creation. I always go over these powers every day in my head. And when I say it to myself, I ask, how am I going to incorporate it in my everyday life? It's so important for us to affirm ourselves. That's what MAAT say, that I honor, or I have not did certain things. She is affirming. It's supposed to be affirming herself in life.
Ashe. So now we're talking about how has our society been corrupted since we no longer implement the lessons of MAAT. Our lineages have lost their way. We have lost our land. People have literally lost their moral consciousness. When you lose your consciousness, you have lost the truth of MAAT. You have lost the power of affirmation to be able to govern yourself. But most of us have lost the governance of ourselves and then want to govern a nation. You done lost your mind. For real, for real. If you think you've been a governor. Huh?
So do sacred keys teach about things like that? Let us know what sacred keys do.
Sacred Keys teaches, like I said, we cover all of this. We cover the Hermetic principles. We cover MAAT. We cover the universal laws, because people have to find a righteous mind. People have really lost it. And when I say find a righteous mind, I don't mean no insult to nobody. I mean literally what it says. Your righteous mind, the right way of doing anything. Becoming the daughters and the son of Ra means to illuminate, enlightenment, become enlightened in what we do and what we say. And the only way to be enlightened is to govern back to the universal all. So at Kingdom Keys, or Universe, or Sacred Keys for You University, we're teaching you how to embody the being that you already are. You just haven't been given enough energy towards being who you really are, because you haven't learned how to govern the characteristics of yourself, right? A lot of times when you step out of, that's where I want to go. When you step out of balance with MAAT, you'll find yourself so out of balance that, once again, you'll find truth as being fearful, right? So now every time the truth comes, you get scared. You got to go. Oh, I can't see her. I don't want to hear that. There you go. You ever tried to talk somebody, you saw somebody with some potential, and you tried to speak life to them, and as soon as you start speaking life to them, they get scared. They want, oh, well, I'll talk to you later. Like, that's how I get rid of a lot of people I don't want to talk to. I just start speaking life. And once again, what happens? Those who are of the light gravitate to the light. Those who aren't, flee. So one way or another, you're going to have to leave me or get along with me, one of the two. And then the second thing we have is that we forgot how to love. We forgot how to love one another. Our heart's so heavy and so bitter. We got so much malice within us that we get more pleasure seeing other people fail than succeed. We give into the gossip. We give into the imbalance of what? The imbalance of injustice.
Sometimes we don't even want to call a person unless we got something negative to say to them about somebody or something. That is a ritual curse that we have put on ourselves that we don't even know that we're doing. Every day that you wake up, you make it your business to pick up your phone and call somebody else and tell them some negative stuff that you just couldn't catch yourself. Now, misery loves company, and invited somebody else in that messed up energy to talk about some negative stuff. Now, once you get finished, you go call somebody and tell them about the negative stuff that they just told you, and not a negative stuff that spread it to another person. And now all their organs is messed up because now they thinking about all the negative stuff that's going on. That is unhealthy for your soul and for your body. Ashe.
Ashe. And something that you said, you go and tell somebody, that's a flow. People don't realize that's a currency. That is a flow and that is a currency. And what you flowing with, you finna bring a whole rupture of that same energy to flow back into your own existence, because universal law is what you put out comes back to who? You. People don't understand. You think it's just easy peasy. And then next, it might not come right then, might not come tomorrow, might not come this year. All of a sudden, you get hit with the worst of a situation. And the first thing you want to know is, why me? Because it's the energy of what you put out must come back. You must be held accountable for your actions on every level in this dimension and the next. What you're doing right now is creating for the what next. And a lot of us take that for granted. And that's why MAAT is here today to help us understand how to break the seal that we have created and to govern in a new code. What is the new code? The vision of what? Integrity, the breath of life, how to speak life, how to bring balance. And within that speaking life and building balance, love will bring forth your justice. I remember there was a time where I was facing some things, and I couldn't do nothing else but sit there and say, truth gonna have her justice. Truth gonna have her justice. So what you think you're getting away, and this is what I love about Oshun, what you think you're getting away with comes back. Oshun gonna always have the last laugh.
Listen, you all. I told her this before we got on tonight. And it's just funny. Listen, y'all, it's like bad cop, good cop. Because my God comes in peace, comes to bring order to chaos. But once you don't listen to her, and once you don't want to be what you need to be for nature, divine law, nature's law, Oshun comes with the force and the currency of the water. Okay? And I know she's sweet. But when you cross that path over my God, she become bitter now, don't she?
Wait a minute, how they say the pendulum swings? It swings, okay? So that same force that you pushed, it came this way, it's gonna come back just as equally swift on the other end. We have to be careful and actually start taking our science to heart, understanding that we're operating in galactic time right now. We are activating. We are it. And if you don't claim the keys to the kingdom, where you are the key and you are the kingdom, if you ain't claiming yourself right now, I don't know what you're doing. You're wasting time. You're wasting valuable time.
Let me add she the one that told me about the galactics. I always come and just spiritual with the Kimmie. She had to put me up on the galactics. Ashe and Chris.
Ashe. Shay. But I'm not gonna go into that science. That's that one you have to come to the university because it gets deep. Okay. But when you start talking about us being here in this domain and in this existence and moving forward in 2023, you have to keep in mind the principles. I'm hearing a scripture from Solomon that said, wisdom is the principal thing, but in all thy getting, get an understanding. Understand what it is that you're doing. Be able to identify your ego versus your divine. And utilizing the scales of MAAT, the 42 principles, will help you stay in alignment. If you got to write those principles out and put it on your wall every morning while you're getting dressed, recite them. Recite them. Why? It's going to put an echo in your water, in your DNA. Come on, Oshun. That's going to help you remember throughout the day to walk in integrity, walk in good character. Okay? Make sure you're operating in moral order, which is natural law. Natural law. What is natural law? See, man's law always want to force something. It want to make you bow down, a heed to. It want to regulate you. It want to put you in a contract and tell you what you can and can't do. But when you operate in natural law, you have no limitations. You understand that everything is you, and you are everything. You got the whole world in your hands. You know what I'm saying? The whole world is in your hands, and you don't know it because, once again, we following after somebody else's science project. You hear me saying that a lot when you're in the university. Stop following after somebody else's science project and start creating your own. If you're walking in the creation of nature, guess what? It gives you the creativity. Come on, Oshun. I give you the creativity to create whatever you want in abundance. Abundance, you shall have it. But can you align yourself? Can you breathe in alignment? Can you sit in meditation long enough to receive the gifts that the universe wants to give to you? Too many times we are hiding the true essence of who we are to fit somebody else's program. And the spirit say, enough, enough. If you're not creating right now, you are not in alignment with the source. And that's a key from the kingdom I'll give you. If you are not creating your own right now, you are not in alignment. Because right now the spirit is pouring so much creativity into you. And if you talking about, oh, I'll do it next week, or I'll finish the job, or I know I need to quit this job, but I'm gonna keep going, you're gonna find yourself going through a lot more hurt, a lot more pain, a lot more suffering than necessary. It's all about you claiming back your divinity and walking within it. Okay, be the chosen one that MAAT has chosen to what? Do the external work, which is to shine your light so bright that others have no choice but to gravitate to you in alignment, or they have to what? Flee. Because it's not anything that's not in alignment is not welcome to dwell within my presence. You have to become aligned. Ashe?
I say I'll do a quick little reset and go back over who you are and name your information. Again, you all that has just joined us. This is Jennifer Lynn Steele, the CEO and founder of Maat Divine Podcast. We have a wonderful, wonderful spiritual goddess here tonight, and her name is Egbekemi, Oshunlewa, and she is bringing fire tonight. She's giving us information about her university that you all can go to if you want to inquire anything. All her information is at the bottom of the screen. It has the name of her Kingdom Keys Universal Nation. It has her Gmail where you all can reach her. It has her email where you all can reach her. It has her phone number where you can call or text her, and she even has her direct Facebook name, Golden Rule, as well as where you all can reach her. And she serviced national and international, virtue and in person. So if you all want to be a part of that, really tap in with her because she's giving some wonderful information and you all can really benefit from it. Islam, I give it back to you, goddess.
Islam, peace, love, and light. Once again, my name is Egbekemi Oshunlewa. I am the high priestess goddess over Kingdom Keys Universal Nation. Also, Olokun's house for the men, Oshun's temple and vision for youth, in which we do have other high priests and priestesses that are overseers of these particular establishments as well. Hopefully you will be meeting them very soon in the future. If you are looking for somewhere where you can spiritually grow and be uniquely yourself, authentically yourself, then come over to Kingdom Keys Universal Nation. We are accepting applications for healers, any master teachers. We definitely have a slot in and the sacred keys for you, where we're looking for more science. We're looking for somebody that's willing to step up and actually start teaching in a university the more science and how to actually file those documentations in that paper. One of the things that I'm a strong sticker about is making sure that we do things from the heart. Because if you do it from the heart, then there's so much treasure that will come forth because it's what you love to do. So we ask that if you have any type of gift that you have mastered, from anything, martial arts to money gurus to, you know what I'm saying, whatever your gift and your talent, you make crystals. I mean, you do crystal grids, you do jewelry. It does not matter. If you are a master, we want to put you into a classroom and set you up where you can start teaching the people who are coming and seeking it, right? Because they told us if we build it, then they will come. So we have to be able to build a solid foundation for our future. I think I covered everything. Check us out. We have Zooms, workshops that will be coming. They'll be posted on all social media. You might see the symbol. Once again, they go to symbol that will be popping up throughout your social medias. When you see it, just come on and check us out. We are located. I myself am located here in Detroit, Michigan. On Thursday nights, if you know about 90s Book Cafe, you can catch me on most Thursday nights selling shea butter, which each temple has its own currency of flow. So Oshun's temple has shea butter. We talking about essential oils, scented essential oils. These oils last anywhere from 6 hours and longer. Essential oils, no alcohol, no HMOs, no body fats, none of that stuff is in there. It's all natural essential oil and shea butter. And when I say people are loving it, they buy it faster than I can make it. So I'm grateful for it. If you haven't tried it out, come and test it out. Inquire on how we also will mail it to you if need be. But if you can, come on down there to 71 Oakman, 90s Book Cafe, where I will be selling shea butters at 9 p.m. for open mic and poetry. Ashe.
Shay, thank you again, Empress, because you all do not understand that she is giving so much love and honor to Maya tonight, because this is Oshun. You are Oshun tonight. You are knowledge on Maya. Now tell me, if this is not a how can I say a historical moment, no one would ever think that Oshun will be speaking of Maya. Okay, so I appreciate you and I thank you so much, and I am back to listen, teacher.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I say, I rushed through it because it was a lot of information. But like I say, if you come on over to Kingdom Keys or Sacred Keys for You, one of the houses, every house is always talking about the energy of Maat and the power of Oshun and Olokun. We deal with the waters over here at the Kingdom. Okay. We love you all, and we're open. Like I said, we're open for more people to come and join us. I don't know what else to say. I done said it all. So by all means, like I say, reach out to me. I'm very approachable. If you happen to see me throughout the city, stop and have a conversation with me. We here to share our light. I'm that little light they keep talking about hiding under a bushel, but I'm gonna burn the bush down and shine. You hear me? And I'm gonna keep on moving. I'm a little silly, y'all. Don't pay me no attention, but I have nothing but the purest of love and intent, and I'm moving that authenticity whenever I'm dealing with people. I give you what you see is what you get. Ashe.
But sometimes, I gotta play devil's advocate sometimes. Sometimes you all, we're living in a world that created so many spells that we get confused to. And I was on your thread, and a young guy spoke about it, and it was so phenomenal, because I was like, oh my God, he's saying what I talk about so much, and that's the good and bad. And when you say there is no such thing, it's like a duality or polarity. And it takes me to you all, and I know you all can say whatever you want to say about me, okay? But sometimes dark Vaders are needed in this world, because there really is no such thing as good and bad. But there is a such thing as positive and negative. And the word
Ashe.
messes us up a lot. But I just wanted to say that because what you were saying just brought it out of me. Peace and love as well.
Right. And I'm glad you brought it up because in explaining that to that young brother, I also explained to him on a private level. I say we identify it as being bad or good, but there's only lessons. That's all it is. It's a lesson. And how you define that lesson is by how you respond to it, how you react to it. So if something brought you dis-ease and discomfort, what did you learn from it? That's what MAAT is about. That's what the principles of, that's what Oshun trying to show you, like, okay, well, hold on, how long you gonna let this ego take control? I tell you what, let me tell you about Oshun. Oshun was so to the point where she was like, oh, so all y'all high elder entitlement people feel that I'm not worthy to sit at the table. I tell you what, I'm gonna go on over here to my safe haven and see how long y'all make it without me. What's gonna happen? Want to see what happens then. You see what I'm saying? So when you start talking about taking on titles and having position, don't get so high and mighty within your character that you forget that you have a service that you're supposed to render to the people. You have a service. That's what MAAT was about. It was about governing under integrity and good stewardship. That's what Oshun was about. Don't let your ego, how they say, write a check you can't cash. Okay.
Wow, let me add this to that. This I was so toxic, you all. I was so chaotic that you wouldn't even believe that I had did a 360 and I am studying and preaching and ministering MAAT, because I was that person that I matched your energy. I gave you what you gave me. I didn't take accountability. I stayed in my ego. Y'all don't understand that shadow work is a forever work that you will be doing once you get started, because you have to face your good, your bad, your ugly, the cries, the sadness, the screams, the depression, the anxiety. Like, let's really talk about it. When you're doing shadow work on yourself, it is not good. It's not cute. What I want you all to understand is, stop being afraid of the dark, basically. Because in order to even get to that light, you had to come through the dark. So you was already in the dark. Most of our powerful things come out of the dark. Our thoughts, our meditation, the things that we do. We have to stop being fearful. But that's all I want to say, teacher. Back to you.
You keep hitting on that fear word, because I can dig on that a little bit further too. Right, because what we don't realize is that whenever we start talking about fear, you're out of alignment as well. Because one thing about the embodiment of knowing is it brings you to a solid place of existence. It brings you to a place where you just know. I don't have to argue with you, beloved. How they say, I pity the fool. You have no clue. Because why? You rather sit here and argue with me than to find justice and a balance of truth, a solution to the situation that we both can coexist together with. That's going to still have us walk away with love and peace within our hearts. But when we holding on to so much anger and so much malice, we always want to be the right one. I got to be the right one. If you don't set yourself free from always wanting to be right, you're going to find yourself stuck in a time loop. We talking about a spiral. This goes around in a circle. It doesn't rise up. It's just going in a circle. 1 minute, hey, things look good. Then the next minute, they falling apart. Then things looking good. Then things falling apart. Why? Because you're wrestling with your higher self and your ego. One of them got the win. Which one are you going to allow to win? And guess who got the last say so? You do. You do. You decide, is this going to benefit me or is this going to hurt me? Is this going to uplift me? Is this going to set me free? Is this going to bring peace? Then guess what? If it ain't bringing peace, I don't want nothing to do with it. Because my treasures are laid up in heaven. Where my heart is, there is my treasures. That's something that one of the professors at Sacred Keys when I say he been echoing, like, where's your treasures at? Right? You the kingdom, you the key. Now where's your treasure? because your treasures are light up in that which you love. And that's what we teaching with Vision for Youth. We actually have a program that will be starting once again in March, where the great goddess Sunny, I can't wait for y'all to really get to know Sunny. Sunny, this goddess is phenomenal when it comes down to teaching and when it comes down to being authentic. A lot of us are afraid to be ourselves. What you parade around people ain't really the real you. Those are called. Go ahead.
You be giving these revelations like speaking. Yes, I share to you, Empress, because we're not being ourselves because we carried on the generational curse from our childhood and generations before us that did not break that curse. And I am one that can say that because I come from a stern background, upbringing, be independent, take care of yourself, stern. But I wasn't being me because the real Jennifer wants to be in love, wants to be in balance, wants to be in truth. She didn't know that was where she wanted to be until she had to have an ego death. Like with that ego death again, y'all. That's why the ego death is so important, because most of my whole life I was someone who I really wasn't. And now I'm at 40 and just realizing who I am. I think about that. I didn't realize and come into who I am until I was damn near 40. So how many of us is in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s that never really know who they truly are because the generational curses that has been put before us has said you have to be this way, you have to do this because life said you have to be this way and have these morals. But deep down inside, you always was itching to something else or somewhere else. But you didn't follow your heart. You didn't follow your godly mind, which is that voice that you hear when your mouth is closed. When you close your mouth, but you're still talking, who is that person? Have any of y'all ever thought about who is that person when my mouth is closed and I'm talking to? That's that godly you. Tap into it, because that godly you wanted to do something else. But because your ego said if you did that, the world is not going to accept you, or the world is going to call you crazy, or the world is going to think that you're losing your mind, you went over that flesh instead of that spirit. Islam, I pass it back to you, okay?
Shay, come on. Look, I was ready to sit back and grab a notepad and go ahead, sis. Teach it. Shay. But seriously, a lot of our spiritual being of existence has been, what's the right word, spirit? It has been coated. Is that the right word? It's been covered in this flesh. And this flesh is part of the earth. It desires what it desires. That's why I say when you pass away, ashes to ashes and dust to dust, meaning that this comes back from which it came. But the spirit, where is your spirit going to return to in the end? Like, have you took an actual retrospect of your actions enough to think about, am I going to be reincarnated back into this place we call earth? Because David said, I walk through the valleys and the shadows of death. Oh, shoot. Right? And I will fear no evil. But somehow we have gotten to a place that we fear. Fear has become a part of our costume. And we have paraded in such a way that we defend the fear. That's how far in depth we are away from our actual truth, our actual existence of ourselves. And something else, let me tell you, I've been running across a lot of people who are, we don't want to claim this and we don't want to claim that because this is tainted. Like I said, every system has been tainted. Yet people say, well, we can't tell how we going to know the truth? You're going to know the truth because it's a natural connection. Natural. Babies even know that the fireplace is hot. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna see them just go throw themselves over into the fire to find out either. Certain things we already know, but we don't trust the intuition of our knowing. Because why? Well, if I do this, they gonna say. If I do that, they gonna respond. We give all our pearls amongst the swine, and then care about what the swine think about it. Make some sense. You are royalty beyond measure. And the moment you start claiming the keys to your kingdom, you're going to find yourself walking more and more within that power, within that integrity, within that balance. You're going to find yourself questioning yourself like, hold on, wait a minute. Is that a moral conduct in which I'm doing? Why am I doing this? Why is it so important that I do this? Shay, I can't read what the messages are down there because I'm on my phone. They real small. What'd she say?
No, one of the brothers, Arnold TV, says chapter 1 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America is where that question about the spirit answer is at. Islam, Ashe. But you do have Sister Sunny that's been giving us shout outs. We love you. It's sunny outside, 777.
Ashe. Check out Sunny. Listen, I'm telling you, this phenomenal goddess right here. I met her a while back. And when I met her, it's a beautiful thing to find people whose spirits are so pure that all they want to do is give back from an overflow. You see what I'm saying? This woman pours from an overflow in her teachings. And I just love her authenticity, because you find people who always want to dress things up and sugarcoat. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cuss on your platform. But you know,
whatever. Okay, this is my God No Shoes temple tonight. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just say how my grandma say, keep it like it is. People like to sugarcoat shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, what you eat don't make me shit. So at the end of the day, we have to really learn how to be really authentically ourselves. Authentically ourselves. And like I say, Goddess she just came in and into the temple, and she just been running. She running on 2 different platforms and her own. You hear what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. She didn't come just to get what she could get for herself, but she came to give back. And that's a lot of what we don't do anymore. We don't show a lot of charity. And working in my eye, that's sad that we don't care about our people, because the whole concept is the governing of it is for the people, by the people. But we forget about the people. A lot of us got keys and knowledge that can help save people's lives and change it, but we rather hold on to it for ourselves. How selfish are you? That you have something that can save somebody else's life, open up a new opportunity, give a new insight, but you won't even speak on it. You won't even guide them in the right direction. And most of us get mad because people don't show up to what we're doing. But what seeds have you planted? You see what I'm saying? What charity have you shown? How pure is your heart for real, for real? Or has it become so tainted with the world that now it's just stone? Can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody show you nothing, because this is how it was. And you living so far in the past, you finna hurt yourself. And how you gonna hurt yourself? Because your heart, come on now, is not as light as a feather.
Come on with that feather. All right now.
Your heart is not as light as a feather. You got to be light, baby. That means, guess what? I am I ain't got time to be worried about that. We're gonna find a solution, because one thing about nature is it always provides within its season. Right? So we got to be able to go through our seasons and allow things to flow. So yeah, we're going to be crying. I'm letting you know now, from a spiritual high priestess standpoint, as we move further, you're going to have more days that you're going to feel like there's nobody else there. How do I know? Because I'm an Aries too. So I get to feel it all before everybody else do. So you're going to have moments where you're going to feel, okay, you're going to feel these emotions. You're going to feel the heaviness. You're going to feel the loneliness. But understand, as Professor Melody said, you're going through a dormant of a state of a position, meaning that Maat she digging deep inside of you, and she's saying, hold on, you forgot this. Go back and heal this part of you too. And then when you ignore it, then once again, come on, she tapping her sister though and say, Oshun, go make her feel it real quick. Go make her feel it real quick.
Do that bird card.
She say, go make them feel it real quick. So then it becomes heavier. And the more, let me tell you, our ancestors love us so much that they allow us to go through these pains. And you would think that it's suffering, but it's really keys. They're clues. Certain parts of your body is causing certain pains and certain aches. You go and look up what the spiritual meaning is, and I guarantee you're going to be like, oh, shoot, that's what that means. Oh, I didn't know I had that much anger built up on me, even though I'm not acting on it. I thought I was doing good because I wasn't acting on it, right? But didn't know that I had that much anger in me that I'm stopping my own blessing. I'm stopping my own progress. How they say, move out your own way so things can flow right. Get out
and,
your own way.
and understand that how can I say this? And understand that being angry don't always mean fighting or being aggressive and arguing. You can be treating somebody
Ashe.
so bad because you angry. And to you, or to a lot of people, oh, this is just how I am. I'm blunt. You know, I speak my mind because this is who I am. Nah, brother, you angry. Nah, sister, you angry. And so that's why you speaking to your next fellow sister and brother the way that you are. Because if you wasn't angry and if you was practicing in love, there's no way you would want to just completely go off on a person. You know, for every action, there is a reaction.
Exactly. Ashe. Ashe. And
Brother Arnold says the highest science, go ahead and talk that talk. The highest science is knowing Allah is the mother by another name. Ashe. Oh, okay.
Ashe-o, Ashe-o. The
Yeah.
universe, how they say, the universe knows your name. The universe knows who you are, even if nobody else knows. And your ethical alignment requires your dedication, your consistency, and most of all, your what? Accountability. Okay? We have to start taking more accountability for ourselves. We want to blame everybody else. Sometimes the reason the program didn't act right because the one person who was supposed to do what they were supposed to do was you, and you didn't do what you were supposed to do for always looking for somebody else to do it. Once you get in alignment with what you're supposed to do, then guess what? The whole realm becomes a whole circle unified. As I tell the members of Kingdom Keys and Sacred Keys for You, there is not one person here that can't be whole. And I'm saying it wrong. We all are whole. We can't have a crack in the brick of building our pyramid because that one little hair fracture of a crack can make the whole pyramid tumble. So where you need to heal, go and heal. Go get your healing. You have to become whole. You, in order to be collectively, to be unified, we want to be unified with a bunch of broken people and wonder why we ain't growing. You got to go back and heal some people. You got to go and speak some love into some people. You got to go and stop stealing from people. Let's talk about that too. A lot of us corrupted because we stealing from one another, trying to get rich. You so materialistic whip that you will put and sacrifice your whole village for a little bit of something. You, Dorothy, didn't I tell you don't take off them golden slippers, those red slippers? Didn't I tell you don't you sell your soul? But you about ready to
stay on the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road. Now, why would you get off that path? Tell me.
Oh, well, you know, he needed some brains. He needed some love. Oh, he needed a little bit of courage.
Listen, when the whole time you all home was inside of her. All she had to do was click her heels 3 times. It was never outside of her. It was never another being. A part just like this girl, just like the world. You got somebody behind those curtains treating you like a puppet show. But when we finally pull those curtains back, we're gonna realize that he was you, who is he or she is within me. And when you realize that the whole time, you just had to get out your ego. You had to cleanse your soul. That's why I have to give flowers to the goddess is sunny outside, because she says you can feel the blockages within your body. Now, let me tell y'all something really quick. When you do good, good come back on you too. And sometimes we need a little spark and activation in this world. And what I mean by that is I can only start with the person in the mirror, which is myself. And I give thanks to the Empress for even being on this call tonight, because she gave me back an activation that I didn't even have. Just because I studied my eye, just because I walk in my eye, do not mean that we don't go through trials and tribulations and we don't get tested and life don't happen, because we're still stuck in different dimensions in this world, you know, and we be our higher selves someday, but we're still in the world and we're trying to get it right. And sometimes we come back down to our lower selves. And what I mean by that is, she said you can feel the blockages within your body. I used to have all my chakras so activated on a high level that I didn't even know what pain was. But I have been experiencing pain, you know, and I know that voice when my mouth is closed, always tell me, get back to your heavy meditation. Get back to what you once knew. Don't let what has happened in the moment take over Maya. Now listen, y'all, we talking about Maya now. Life happens. Life, we're in different realms. I'm no better than the next person. I can speak so much spiritual stuff, but life happens. And it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to understand and know that sometimes some chakras is off. But it takes a sister like Sacred Keys University to come in and activate our chakras to get us back going sometimes, because the universe and Mother Nature and Allah makes no mistakes. You know, everything happens for a reason. This day was already destined before we even knew, because we signed a contract for it. You know, we just have to understand life. But I just want to get a sister her flowers, because she gave a revelation when she said you can feel the blockages within your body. And that's like before we got on, sis, we were speaking about that pain is there because we're not doing what we're supposed to. We're not operating in the way that we're supposed to operate, you know. And we sound, you might be like, you sound crazy, but it's really just that simple. The power, so much power that's in water. And I'll give it back to you, Oshun.
And once again, like I said, the spirit will speak through your body. Okay, your body is your space suit. When it's out of order, it speaks to you. It lets you know exactly what's going on and what area you need to pay attention to. And every part of your body is connected to a level of the chakra, right? So in that level of the chakra, it gives you a message. This is where the whole know thyself comes into place. How well do you know yourself? How well do you know your body intimately? How far or how much can your body withstand and deal with? A strong I was about to say God. A man once told me when I was doing body training, he said the body can withstand anything. It's the mind you must learn how to control. When you start learning how to control your mind and start learning how to utilize the tools that the ancestors left you, you understand that everything has to come to a cease when you speak the right words of affirmation, when you speak the right words of peace. Like the sister said, when we start speaking to our water and start drinking that water, it starts to gravitate and connect to the water within the body, and then the real magic begins. This is how come you know you're the healer, because you had to do it for yourself first. And once you were able to heal you, now you become the master that can teach others how to heal. You don't need a degree for that. You don't need certifications and licenses for that. All you need is experience and to be able to be aligned with natural law. Natural law. Natural law give you the keys to the kingdom. Before you know it, you done created something that can cure any and everything when you tap into natural law, and you thought you didn't have the skills and the talent to be able to do it. These things,
ancestors, mothers, grandmothers, they were all top practitioners, doctors, are the old folks' tale of the witch doctors, okay? They have no degrees behind their name. They didn't go to no school. They went in the backyard to nature and looked up in the sky with water. If you look up, it's water. Up under you is water. The air is water. Everything is water. How dare you not understand the power of water? And you are most of your body is made up of water. Oh my goodness. It's loud.
How you say you get in some water, man? Have you ever taken a spiritual bath and got in that spiritual bath and got out of there and felt the whole transformation just from getting in and out? You talking about a real baptism. You ain't had a baptism till you have put your own spiritual bath together and put your Ashe in it. We're going to talk about that on another day when we start talking about your Ashe, because people don't understand how powerful Ashe really is. Ashe. But I just wanted to also give honor and reverence once again to the feather, and then I'm gonna let go, because I want us to really understand that if you happen to be in nature and you happen to come across a feather, pick it up. A lot of people, oh, it's disease. If that's where your mind is, then that's what it would be. You hear me? But when you start tapping into spiritual tools, you know that your spirit speaks to you through things, right? So once again, you trying to figure out clarity, you trying to figure out how to make things come, and then all of a sudden you see a feather just fall. Pick that feather up. Speak to the feather. Give gratitude to this feather. Then put it in your head. Why? Because your hair is your antennas, right? So put it in your head. And as you walk, you're going to find yourself finding clarity and understanding. See, people think that a lot of these people just look crazy because they're walking around with stones and feathers everywhere. No, you better tap into the nature. Nature is here to help gravitate you back to your alignment so that you may ascend to your highest. But you have to be willing and consistent and ready to receive it. And a lot of us aren't ready to receive it because we're still operating in fear. And I'm telling you, fear is out of alignment. Anxiety is nothing but your ego fighting with your flesh. You already know what you're supposed to do, but you're trying to condone what you already know shouldn't be done. You know what I'm saying? I teach in the kingdom, this is what I teach. I teach, but if you pay close attention whenever somebody is talking and they start talking about but, they finna condone what they already know they shouldn't do. Everything. So at the kingdom, what we call it, we say everything after but is what? Bullshit.
Remember, I was talking to you some years ago. And we was talking about people and they but. You was like, Empress, when you about to listen to them? You was like, because they in their ego behind but is bush.
Everything after but is bullshit. Because you already know the truth, but you won't stand on the truth because it brings uncomfortability. It's not normal. It's not acceptable in the midst of what? Misery. Because misery wants to keep you in that angle of what? Always analyzing something that should just naturally flow. It just naturally has to be. And sometimes, I think you hit on it earlier, sometimes the dark shadows, the difference between dark magic and light magic is the intent behind it. You see what I'm saying? Because some people operate in dark energy and still have more positive insight or responses. Because why? Their intent was pure. The intent was pure. So they have greater success.
It goes back to there's no good or bad because the world think it's bad, but the person's heart was pure that wasn't the intent, that it actually was a good deed. Oh, goodness gracious.
You see what I'm saying? So when I say the universe, Mama Gaia, Maya, Oshun, they will use whomever they choose, long as their heart be pure. Can your heart be pure? Can you get yourself to a place where, guess what? I can recognize my walk, and my walk is in truth. And if the world be against me, then so it be, because I know what I represent is more than that of the world. You have to start seeing yourself as that great giant that can conquer anything. Narratives in every scripture, every Quran, every stanza always taught you how to what? Gravitate to the enlightenment of Ra, back to your higher self. The collective of all is being called to come together, and we still arguing over if it's Moroccan, if it's Eastern, if it's Christianity, if it's Muslims. We arguing the wrong concepts of the principle. Wisdom is the principle, and all thy getting, get the understanding. What does that mean? Learn how to apply this science. And that's what we teach in that Sacred Keys. Get the science and then learn how to apply it within yourself. And it's not an overnight thing. It's a consistent thing. And see, I know a lot of people don't like to hear the Bible, but I'm going to quote it anyway because my ancestors' blood is in it. And it said...
Don't forget. I got to say, the prophet know what you are leaving. Said we're going to use Bibles against them. Do not throw those Bibles away. Okay, so the Bibles are still needed because we have to do other things. And it's like the brother said, that's holy breath. Prophet Noah Ali is seen with a feather in his turban. Come on and talk that talk.
Okay. Come on now, because our ancestors left keys in everything. Everything. Think about it. I just want to take this and then I'm gonna shut up, y'all. Listen, if you was bound, right, you was taught sacred rituals of healing power, and you was bound and you was shoved against your own beliefs. Come on, Toby. and you cannot speak in your native tongue, you will be a heed to whatever I tell you, or you will suffer the consequences. That's a vibrational gene. That's trauma in the DNA. When you get my book, I'm gonna break that down for you so you can really understand the trauma that takes place in the rituals of what it is that we do on a consistent basis. When we are tapping into these rituals and we tapping into these daily I lost my thought, spirit bring it back. When we're tapping into these daily rituals and we're tapping into these sayings, Lord, spirit, it's not coming back, so I'm gonna just leave it alone. But just know, rituals are definitely spells, and we practice in a lot of different rituals. And in these rituals, it's causing for us to get further and further away. This is how come they say many will be called, but only few will be chosen, because only the few are willing to do what it takes. That means if I got to be ashamed in front of everybody, then I'm really not ashamed. I'm just coming to a place where I'm aware of the folly and the things that we used to do, because guess what? It don't make no sense that we still doing the same thing we was doing through 5, 10, 20 years. When do you evolve? Or have we just become comfortable in certain places, in certain rooms, in certain environments? And if you're in a place of comfortability, then you're not feeling no pain. And my grandma used to say, as long as you feel living, you're going to feel pain. Why? Because the pain is the awareness, as we keep telling you, as the sister said about our chakras. It's the awareness. It's to bring you to a place where you sit down, you meditate, and you figure it out. What has caused me to come into this trauma? And a lot of times we'll find out that a lot of it is because we give a lot of power away to people who never wanted to see us succeed in the first place. We give it away to them. How do we give it away to them? We self-sabotage ourselves. We talk down about ourselves. We tell ourselves we're incompetent. I'm just a worthless slave. I'm not the high priestess though. I don't have I'm not the Moabitess though. Once again, those are titles. Those are man-made titles. When you are working in divine order, you don't need a title. You just need to be and stand in the truth of being. And so with that being said, I'm going to leave that right there. Once again, my name is Egbekemi, Oshunlewa, and I'm grateful for you allowing us to be on this platform. If there's any other questions or concerns, just let me know.
Yes, love. And I appreciate you, and I thank you. Now we can actually go ahead and close it out. What I do want to do before we close it out is I'm going to do another announcement. And then I'm going to go over the 42 ideals of MAAT. And then you can give the last word, and I'll get a last word, and we'll be done.
Ashe.
Okay. So I'm going to pull up the 42 ideals of MAAT. Hold on. This down, go to banners for 1 second. Okay. The 42 ideals of MAAT. 1, I honor virtue. 2, I benefit gratitude. 3, I am peaceful. 4, I respect the property of others. 5, I affirm that all life is sacred. 6, I give offerings that are genuine. 7, I live in truth. And notice that some of the powerful words is highlighted for give us an understanding. Again, 7, I live in truth. 8, I regard all authors with respect. 9, I speak with sincerity. 10, I consume only my fair share. 11, I offer words of good intent. 12, I relate in peace. 13, I honor animals with reverence. 14, I can be trusted. 15, I care for the earth. 16, I keep my own counsel. 17, I speak positively of others. 18, I remain balanced with my I can't even say it that good. I thought it should be emotions if we had 17 or 18. Hold on. 16 should be I keep my own counsel. 17, I speak positively. 18 should be emotions. I remain in balance with my emotions. It got to be that. I'm trying to remember. I am trustful in my relationships. I hold purity in high esteem. I spread joy. 22, I do the best I can. 23, I communicate with compassion. 24, I listen to opposing opinions. 25, I create harmony. 26, I invoke laughter. 27, I am open to love in various forms. 28, I am forgiving. 29, I am kind. 30, I act respectfully of others. 31, I am accepting. 32, I follow my inner guidance. 33, I converse with awareness. 34, I do good. 35, I give blissfulness. 36, I keep the waters pure. 37, I speak with good intent. 38, I praise the goddess and the God. 39, I am humble. 40, I achieve with integrity. 41, I advance through my own abilities. And 32, I embrace the all. So I went over those because I wanted you all to just get a quick understanding of, go do the research. Don't listen to me. I'm just a nobody trying to tell somebody about everybody. But 42 laws of Ma'at from my teachings through the science is that's where part of the 10 Commandments come from. When Moses went up there to that bush, he brought back 10 of those commandments. That becomes thou, that becomes patriarchal, that it was supposed to stay in the spiritual realm and in the virtues of nature law, which is divine law. So you can speak. Oh, I want to do the last announcement, you all. Again, if you all that is in the Detroit metropolitan area, Thursday. Thursday, which is tomorrow. The Moorish Temple of America, Temple number 4, is doing their Prophet Noble Drew Ali birthday celebration. So you all come on out. It's going to be a historical lecture by G.S. Taharka Aboki Bay. There'll be free food, live entertainment, and music. It is located at 23810 West 7 Mile Road. And it's from 5 to 9 p.m. And again, if you forget, then remember, just come back to the YouTube video and you can pull it up from here. Now, I thank you all and appreciate you all for being on here tonight. I give you your flowers, Oshun. I give you the much most respect for even catering to Ma'at and speaking of Ma'at and letting Ma'at be a part of your center, because I know you are Oshun Beauty Temple. Now, if you go ahead and actually close us out with some last words. I'm going to put up some of your logos so people see it, they know that it's you. And again, let me put your information back at the bottom, and then you can go ahead and close us out. And I thank you again. Peace and love and light was your last word.
Okay, thank you once again. I am so grateful. I have to, before I go anywhere, I have to give a shout out to my rocks, my team, my sisters, my brothers of Kingdom Keys Universal Nation. When I say I have been privileged to be able to work with the best of the best, when I say their hearts are golden, their intent is sincere, and I am grateful to have these brothers and sisters teaching me, teaching me on so many different areas, because even though I'm the high priestess, I'm very transparent and I'm quick to let you know, like the sister said, don't take my word for it. Go study for what? Yourself. Because why? You are the key. And at the Kingdom Keys, this is our saying, you are the key and you are the kingdom. And together we unlock the future. Together we build a new foundation. Together we stand on the rocks of justice, the solid foundation. Ashe. Once again, when you get a chance, this is my book. Go and check it out. The Ancestral The Return of the Ancestral Throne. It's a book like no other. A lot of people like, well, you know, we ain't no slaves. Yes, you is. Until you set yourself free, that's what you are. And you might as well get comfortable with it if you're not trying to change. Ashe? So we have to learn how to set ourselves free. And the first thing we have to do is learn how to set ourselves free mentally. Because once again, universal law is mind is everything. So a man thinketh, so is he. Look, we can quote things all day long that's going to say the same exact thing. But this particular book, once again, is going to bring awareness to the family. How do we heal our family? Once again, you think it's hard to deal with people on the streets and in neighborhoods and communities. It ain't nothing compared to having to deal with the people in your family, Ashe. And we still have to learn how to love them regardless and deal with them while we build, because everything that we build is a legacy for the future, right? It's for generations to come. So we want to make sure that our generations to come are completely healed. So in this book, you have work prompts, you have clear definition, definitely dealing with ethology and where words originated from, how we became entitled people, and how we have put so much pressure on one another. Most of our trauma started when we were born and didn't even know it. So with this book is going to really help you decode those things that have been making you wonder, how come she get everything and I don't get nothing? How I wind up the black sheep. This is going to help you understand why, and it's going to also help you understand how to break free from that bondage and help heal your family at the same time. So I'm grateful for the ancestors giving me the science and the knowledge to be able to write this book. And once again, it's available on Amazon. If you want it personally signed, once again, I'm at 90s at 9 o'clock on Thursdays. Just come on in with the book and I'll sign it for you right there. We will have a book signing, but like I say, after I get the temples and everything flowing, then we will try to have a book signing, because this is the second book. The first book is the Golden Threads of Existence. Okay, that's a whole nother science workbook that we will have in Sacred Keys as a course study in Sacred Keys, and that's dealing with metaphysics and spiritual psychology. My calling and my purpose for here is to help people on those mental levels to break the generational curses of their righteous mind. Ashe. So with that being said, you are the key, you are the kingdom, and together we will unlock the future. May the ancestors be a lamp unto your feet and a light into your pathway, that you always find yourself in divine order, and so it be. Ashe, 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 oh. And that's it for me, sister.
Ashe and Ashe, oh. Peace and love, everyone. Again, thank you all for my Maat Divine Podcast. Peace, love, and light. Islam.
Islam, peace.
Let's get spiritual. I've been heavy on my grind, putting value on my time. I see the vision in my mind, in my purpose I'm aligned. I refuse to slow down, I claim these blessings all around. I'ma keep my focus, and I'ma stay grounded. I have a really good feeling about this. Put a target on my goals, I can't miss. Lately I've been manifesting, setting good intention, and I believe in me. Everything I want is in me. I attract abundance to me. Inner vision, I believe in me. Everything I want is in me. I attract abundance to me. wonder that exists all around me. I am a creator of my reality, and the universe is ready to support my dreams. I am a powerful aspect of divine consciousness. I am in tune to all that I need. And I